Hi everyone and welcome back to IBSpectrum. Continuing with the DP Paper 1 series, today we have a guide on how to ace the Chemistry Paper 1. Make sure to turn on the captions so that you don't miss out on any information. So, what exactly is Paper 1 in Chemistry? Well, across all of the sciences, Paper 1 is the multiple choice question or MCQ paper. Each question holds 1 mark and depending on your level, you will either have 30 or 40 MCQs. It is extremely important to know that calculators and the data booklet are not allowed in the exam. Hence, it is essential that you practice calculations without your calculator before the exam, as well as know important information from the data booklet. Moving on to the differences between standard and higher level. Standard level students have 30 questions and their paper lasts for 45 minutes, and higher level students have 40 questions and their paper lasts for an hour. Paper 1 holds 20% weightage of the total mark for both of the levels. The tips that are provided in this video could be used by both HL and SL students. It is imperative that we outline and explore what exactly examiners are expecting from the students, and hence we need to identify the objectives being assessed. Since this is an MCQ paper, the objectives are pretty straightforward, selecting the correct answer. However, here are the type of questions you can expect in the paper. Firstly, Objective 1 assesses how aware we are on the definition of significant terms in the subject. An example of this type of question is, which of the following describes the visible emission spectrum of hydrogen? Here, you will have to select the right definition amongst the choices. These types of questions are very straightforward and require you to remember the meaning or definition of important terms. Next, Objective 2 assesses how you apply your understanding of a concept to a pretty direct question. An example is, calculate the pH of 1.5 into 10 to the power negative 2 mole per decimeter cube of hydrochloric acid. Here, you're applying your knowledge on pH and the mole concept to solve the problem. Lastly, Objective 3 requires you to again apply information, but this time to solve a problem that requires critical thinking skills. Usually, these types of questions can be a combination of various topics and take more time to solve. An example is, determine the limiting reagent if 76.4 grams of tribromoethane reacts with 49.1 grams of oxygen. Here, you have to use your knowledge on the mole concept, molar ratios, molecular mass, and limiting reagent to find the correct answer. Now, moving on to some tips and tricks that we have for you. Since it is an exam and you have limited time to solve the paper, it can be helpful to answer all of the questions that you know first. If you are stuck on a problem, ensure that you don't spend too much time on it and come back to it later once you've solved all the questions that you know. Next, since calculators are not allowed in the exam, it becomes very easy to make errors while making calculations. Make sure that you're writing down each and every step while solving to avoid errors. Additionally, you will need to practice numerical questions at home without a calculator so that you are prepared for the exam. Practice as many past paper questions as you can, as it really puts things into perspective and gives you an idea on what kind of questions you can get in the paper. You can find these past paper questions on many online websites, and we'll make sure to link some in the description. Now, many students have an issue managing their time during Paper 1. The additional pressure of having to do all your calculations manually makes the time constraint even more stressful, which is why it is significant to practice time tests at home. Lastly, since the data booklet is not provided for Paper 1, make sure that you know the values of specific constants like the R value. In case of standard enthalpy or entropy change, the values will be provided in the question. For calculations centering the mole concept, the periodic table is provided. Now that we have shared all our tips and tricks here at IBSpectrum, we want you to try attempting the 2017 May Paper 1, which we will link down in the description. Make sure to put on a timer, have a periodic table beside you, and don't use your calculator. We really hope that these tips have helped you understand the Chemistry Paper 1, and we also hope that our new DP series has been helpful in your DP journey. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share for more IB related content.